A warm welcome to the Stackis Hotel in Blackpool once again for the World 8-Ball Pool Championships. We're down to the teams final and it sees England against Ireland. Both these teams very much up for it. England the favourites, but Ireland have played superbly throughout. As you can hear behind me, the anthem's just going on. A great deal of atmosphere for this. The crowds will be cheering them on throughout. With me, a former team manager of England, Alan Bartlett. This is the kind of atmosphere we love, and the teams, I mean, this is always a lot of fun, isn't it?
It is. The English team are the strongest team, but if the Irish team get in front, there's going to be some noise out there today.
How do they concentrate with all this noise?
They do give them best of order when they're playing. On their shots, they've got time, it stays calm then, but in between, this is what makes them nervous.
Two best teams in the final or not?
It's hard to say. It's all on the day. Once you get to the semi-final stage, it's one game. Ireland proved that against Wales yesterday. Wales beat England last year. Ireland can beat England.
Well, let's take a look at how these two teams got to the final in terms of who they had to play. Look at this. A host of countries, Ireland, Australia, Scotland, South Africa, they've all come to this. Wales, in fact, the world champions last year, beaten in the semi-finals by Ireland. Ireland finishing fourth. England looking strong, though, having only lost just one match. That's how they finished up. So England, perhaps, you'd say, on paper, are the stronger team, but the way Ireland have played to get through to the final, especially beating the world champions, that was a big fill-up for them, wasn't it?
Yellow ball potted. Craig Reynolds, a very good player. Seen a lot of him in the international competitions.
Yellow ball's in play.
Open table, he's elected yellows. And they are sitting very nice. Reynolds with a very good winning percentage of 76.19. 16 frames for and just 5 dropped.
Come on,
in my mind, Kershaw, Rob McKenna, and certainly this man, Craig Reynolds, are the players that Wales has to have lead the way. They need wins from these players. They have to hope to eke out a few from the lesser experienced ones on the Welsh side. But if they're to have any chance, players like Craig Reynolds have to be front and center. The 8 available, left center. And what a finish this would be for Reynolds. Great finish from Craig Reynolds. They're keeping Ireland in sight.
It's 5-3 to Ireland against Wales. Let's get back to the commentary now for the next frame.
And that's Paul O'Donoghue from Ireland kicking things off here. Already in the 9th frame. 5-3 to Ireland. Now can Paul O'Donoghue erase the memory of a heartbreaking loss at the hands of Rob McKenna in the first frame that he played? And no better way than with a break and finish.
Well, he's got a big opportunity here, Jim. All the reds are on.
Seconds.
That's a bad miss.
Open table.
Now it's open table. He's got a choice of either red or yellows, and I really think he's going to be taking the reds here.
Well, he's up against Andrew Quinten from Wales. Donahue ran into
Red
a
ball's in
very
play.
informed Greg Farron in his first go here in the semifinal. Matter of fact, I think all Andrew did is break off in his clash against Farron. That was his only visit to the table. He'll be looking to go one better here.
The only tough ball here, Jim, is the black ball. I wonder if it passes under the yellow. I think it does, but I can't see from here.
There you can see very clearly that it in fact does not pass, so it's going to have to be developed.
Well, the problem there is he's going to have to leave it for the last ball, pot the ball in the bottom right-hand corner and kiss into the black and hope for a result, and it doesn't always happen.
Well, he wants this red top right, leave himself a little angle to be able to get that cue ball into that 8-ball, and it's all going to be about developing it. Andrew Quinten right now looks to be cueing very sweetly. What a shot, and look how they've developed, and check out the well side. And down it goes, and Wales right back at Ireland. 5-4 by virtue of a terrific inning from Andrew Quinten there. A little smile even before the break, and you know that Rob McKenna will be confident about this one.
Wales break. Come on, Frank. Come on.
Ireland had a firm grasp in this match, and it has slowly been pulled away from them. It slipped away. And right now, McKenna looking to bring the scoreline to 9 frames each.
Yellow ball's in play.
He looks like he's got a positive approach here, Jim. He's ready to go.
We noticed that with John in his last visit, his last match against Craig Reynolds. He was very hesitant, very indecisive.
Good shot, Jim. He's just making it easy here. He's not trying to hit everything too hard. I thought he would bring the white ball further down into the middle of the pack there, but he's just chosen to play the yellow into the left-hand corner and drift down onto the other yellows that come on this side. That's a beautiful shot.
Well, this would be a death blow if John Cullum could take out Rob McKenna.
We're expecting the big boys to do the job, and then the little fella comes in. They've been on 9 for the last 3 frames, and they've gone through Greg Farron, Tony Holgate, and Paul Donahue.
But there is no obvious problems here. He's just got to maintain his nerve. Just got to weave a path for that white, ensuring not to contact a red here.
I think he's got a bit of an angle here, Jim. He doesn't want to travel too close to the black. He may have to run through and put the black back in his bottom right-hand corner.
Well, it looks like he can even run through, play the black into the center. This for 10-8. And so much pressure. I don't think it can be easy enough for John Cullum right now. Down it goes. And Johnny Cullen in Ireland has taken out Rob McKenna. What a terrific performance. And that's got to put them in good stead. They want just one more frame for a place in the final. Here we go. Craig Reynolds versus Robert Brady, the battle of the left-handers. And this to force a one-frame decider.
Open
And
table.
straight into the pressure cooker. An open table right now for Brady. He's played some good stuff here. In fact, he's won both of his matches, as has
Red ball's in play.
Craig Reynolds. So one of these two players will remain undefeated.
That was a great opening shot there, Jim, over the ball. He forced that in, cued it very nicely. Big chance here for Ireland.
And you can even notice his head quivering.
I think he just realised there he's done the hard work, Jimmy. Now he's just got to take his time and put these three balls away with the black.
He's taking the most difficult of the reds. That disappears. Now I think he's got to take the one over the left corner, Alec.
Not for me, Jim. I think I'd take the one in the centre. I think it's a harder ball to get onto.
The position to the last red, if he does elect the one over the right center, it's going to be a little awkward. He'd have to make sure that he negotiates a gap. I think that's the reason he's choosing the bottom left. Well, this has to go left center. And this could be so much easier. I don't know about you, Alec, but I'm getting a little nervous watching this.
Well, it certainly could have been a lot easier, couldn't it? He's overhit that ball there, and obviously he just wanted to be in between the two yellows and have a nice little angle to run that through to the middle and end up in the top of the table.
He's got the red. Well, that was a tremendous shot. A long, straight black. This is what you practice days and nights for. Long, straight cueing. This is all about muscle memory and fundamentals. Control your nerves and let that back arm do what it does. It's there! The eight's down and Ireland with a terrific victory. Be sure Irish eyes are smiling. It's an 11-9 victory over Wales, and they're through to their second team final. So Mick Hill breaking off frame 3. Remember, England took France out 15-6 in the earlier stages of this match. So they have to be brimming with confidence. Good break off exhibited there by Mick. Open table, so still his choice of colors.
I think there's. I think he'll still be staying with the reds there, only because of that bottom left-hand red covering the corner pocket there, down on the left.
Red ball's in play.
30 seconds.
Yellow ball's to play.
It's a good shot by Mick. He's really applying the pressure here. He's saying, well, if you don't get one of these balls now, I'm going to have the 2 shots or even 1 shot, and he's got an opportunity to pot these reds.
Bell.
Well, I can say for sure he didn't mean to do that, Jim.
Well, the most awkward red, as we see Yannick Beaufils again committing the unintended foul. Cue ball following through and slotting the red in the bottom corner. But the awkward red in the center of the table as we look is one that Mick Hill is going to be concerned with. He's going to have to develop this red.
He may consider a double here, Jim, across the table into the other centre pocket.
30 seconds.
He's going after it right away, Alec. Just wanted to get it out into the open. But does he hit it hard enough? Looks like it'll pass top right. But already concern. You can see it on all the French faces.
That was a smart shot, Jim, because all he's done is just promoted that red, made sure that he stayed at the table with a good shot on his next shot, and really he's just left himself with 1 hard pot, which is the ball on the right-hand rail near the centre pocket. Nice angle there to get up for the top 2 reds on the top cushion.
Very good cueing action straight through that plane. Played a bit of snooker as well, Mick, when he was picking up a cue in his earlier days. So you know, fundamentally he's going to be very sound at the table.
He nearly went a bit too far there, Jim. But if he's on this red, he's only got to... I think it passes. I think he'll be on this. Just end up nice and straight on his red here. He just rolled this down into the corner pocket. No force required because he can just put the black straight across in the other centre pocket. This looks like it's just about over, I think.
That's in. The simple black. And this is a great finish from Mick Hill. Well, there you have it. Confirmation 3-0 by virtue of that win from Mick Hill. And what a start for the English side over France. Harrison breaking off. Won his first match. Wants to continue the trend. Departs the table, and Varbo in with the first chance. His choice, reds or yellows. Almost looks like he may be forced. Reds are easier starters, but somehow yellows just look... Well, there's not much in it really, but I don't know. I might fancy yellows for no other reason.
I think I'd take the reds, Jim.
Well, he's gone for reds.
I think he's just cleared the only really tough ball he had.
Red ball's in
And
play.
Well, that was the reason I would have taken yellows, is that awkward red.
just looking at the black there, it's covered by the two other yellows, but the red is also blocking the path to the bottom left-hand corner, so that's another reason I would have taken the reds. If this red ball goes in here on the top rail, Jim, it looks very good for France.
They look like a different side that started the semi-final.
I think they've just settled down. Just settled down and really just taking their chances now, which is what they have to do. They have to apply the pressure, and really I can't understand why England were under pressure when they were 5-2 up, 4-2 up, and lots of mistakes were coming out of England.
"30 seconds.
This looks very promising here. I remember Benjamin when I started here about 6 years ago with my first titles, and he was only a young junior then, and now he's up in the senior ranks, and I think he's been here every time. We're talking a lot of experience with this gentleman.
Well, France is the reigning European team champions. England always the side to beat when you come here for the Embassy World titles. They're the ones you have to get up for. France squeaking through to the semifinals. I mean, your side was just pipped to get through. Ireland just narrowly getting through, and look what they did, taking out the holders Wales in our first semifinal, and France looking to complete a very unlikely double.
30 seconds.
Comes down to this shot here, Jim. I think he's just got to bring the white ball back to the middle of the table, but he hasn't got a lot of room to play with there. That's somewhere where he wants to be, but there's not a lot of room.
"30 seconds.
Can't believe the cue ball could find a path into the middle pocket from that angle. Look at where the cue ball's coming into the center from. You can't believe there's room for it to go into the middle. Disaster in the form of that in-off. And what a let-off for Phil Harrison in England.
I don't understand why he actually marked the middle of the table where he wanted to be and didn't have a straight shot. He had an angle on that red, and then he's chosen to go up the inside.
Couldn't get the cue ball to where he was looking.
30 seconds.
Off the red here into the bottom left-hand corner to clear the yellows. Great shot that, Jim. Just opened everything up there. He still had his two visits with just the one yellow safe on the side.
Well, I have to say there's no way I'd have played that shot. I'd have left myself an angle on one of the yellows closer to the baulk end to bring the cue ball for those yellows to the right-hand center. That was an important pot. He wants to maintain his two visits.
Just shows a man with confidence there, Jim, especially when you got two visits. It's a confidence booster there for sure. I think he was happy to play that ball off the red just because he knew if he didn't pot the yellow, he was still pushing the red fairly safe. So, and he had the other visit as well. So he's going all right here, Phil.
Looked terrific in his first frame, and he's looking no different here. And Jason Twist can offer a smile. He knows. He dropped his second frame, but Phil Harrison doesn't look like he's going to do the same. A little close to the side cushion for comfort.
Yeah, but he's got on it straight, so he's going to have a nice shot on the high yellow, on the left-hand side of the black. Have a nice little angle just to stun back through for the other yellow back into the same pocket. That's perfect, Jim. Hand on the table. He's got a nice queuing action there, so he should be able to stun just over for this.
He has looked solid. Mick Hill loves it. Isn't going to need the second visit. Great performances from Phil Harrison, and he reestablishes the comfort zone for England, back in front by 3 frames at 6-3 to the English side. Carl Houdini Morris gearing up to break off here. It's frame number 13, 9-3 to England. And 2 reds disappear.
Red ball spotted.
And Morris lost his opening frame as well, just like Lee Kendall. And you know, there's a lot of pride on this English team. These guys don't like to lose their frames regardless of what the team's doing. It's all about the team, of course,
Yellow
but
ball's nominated.
they want to do their part. They want to be able to say they were a part of the victory.
30 seconds.
Yellow ball's in play.
So even though Carl potted 2 reds off the break, he's elected yellows because they're situated just a little bit nicer. Wow, that's perfect. Couldn't have worked out any better.
He's only got the 1 hard yellow on the side rail. You notice there he's just about dead straight on that, Jim. He can just screw straight back for that. And then he'll have a linking ball with the other yellow in the middle of the table into the other centre pocket with the easy black in the opposite centre.
Nice touch on the yellow, doesn't hurt.
Perfect shot there.
Made this look like a roadmap finish. No problem whatsoever. You can mark this one on your score sheet. Well, it looks like the white will pass through there.
Well, we've known that all along, Jim. We just couldn't understand why he didn't go for it. There's never a problem at all there.
Well, if nothing else, now he has to go game. He's still got 2 visits, remember.
Perfect angle.
And this looks to be the winning visit. Down goes the 8, and Keith Brewer has dispelled Stefan Jean, and in so doing, taken England across the finish line.
But will it be England or will Irish eyes be smiling? We'll soon find out. Let's join our commentary team once again of Alec Evernadas and Jim Walsh.
Gentlemen, first frame, Ireland.
Thanks, Jonathan. Well, if you can't get motivated when you hear your national anthems to come out to play, then you got to check your pulse rate. Thomas Kinsella breaking off for Ireland, and absolutely crucial for them to get off to a good start. Yellow in to start things off for Thomas.
Yellow ball potted.
A daunting prospect for the Irish side. This is the 7th year since this event's inception, and every single year the English team has been in the final. They've lost only twice on 2 occasions, in 1998 to Wales and in 1996 to Australia. In fact, Ireland is making their 2nd appearance in the finals.
Red balls in play.
In 1995, they were 14-11 losers to the English side. They're going to look to try and erase that memory. And what better way for Thomas Kinsella to get them off the mark here and establish something that they can build on. Well, we've got someone in the commentary box, I'm sure, that would far rather be out there playing right now. He's the Australian captain, Alec Everinatis. And Alec, you know what it takes to beat this English team, having captained the Australian side in 1996 to a win.
Well, that's right, Jim. As Tony was saying, he needs to get off to a good start. And when England played Australia, we got off to a good start, and geez, they kept on coming back. They just did not let go at all, and it was a real close game that year, but we just held on as it was.
Well, you look at the English squad there, and every single team member
30 seconds.
a chance at the individual crown. That's just how strong they are. No weak links whatsoever. And their record here speaks for themselves. 4 world titles. And what's more is you see all the same faces year in and year out. So they know each other. The camaraderie's there. But it really has to be said, in watching Ireland's semi-final win over the holders Wales,
30 seconds.
their emotion, their team spirit, they really do relish this team event. And you will hear some noise from those boys.
They really only need half a reason, Jim. They love to have a yell and a scream.
Seconds.
First mistake falls to the Irish side. That's 2 visits now to Thomas Kinsella.
I don't think that's done Jason a lot of harm there, Jim. He's ended up covering the bottom left-hand corner, and also the red and the yellow stuck on the bottom rail has certainly slowed Thomas down here. It was evenly poised before that shot. It just depends on his first shot here, whether he can clear this yellow in the bottom left-hand corner for the red.
Second visit.
Well, kind of a good news, bad news situation there. He cleared the yellow. Unfortunately, he's not landed on a red. He certainly got the yellow out of there. Had it not double kissed, it would have been perfect.
A bit unlucky there, yeah. And there we see just Thomas there cramping up the black and making sure about the control. Obviously that's the most important ball, Jim, and he doesn't want to open anything up too quickly here. He wants to just keep the control and keep Jason at bay. That's a clever shot there by Jason, just removing the yellow, leaving the reds on the cushion, and also putting the white way out of reach.
Well, Thomas was a stalwart in their semi-final victory over the Welsh side. He won 2 of his 3 frames. He's always a player that Ireland count on very heavily, and that's why they start off with him. Icy cool nerves.
Good shot there.
Very good pot. He's got an outside chance here, does Jason Twist. Going to take an awful lot of manipulation with regards to the cue ball, though. But the yellows are available. Most difficult ball is obviously the one nearest the bottom end. And it passes to the right center and top right.
Nice angle here, Jim, with the yellow in the middle, just to drift down. Bit of stun on the white, just to get below the yellow and have a nice run-through shot to get up the top of the table.
Well, this is the difficult yellow, and you can see Keith Brewer, Mick Hill there, applauding a good positional shot from Jason Twist. They call him the Tornado because he wastes very little time out there.
Well, we can see here, Jim, he's got the two yellows up the top, and he only really has to roll this in and roll the other yellow into the left-hand corner with the black down the rail covering four reds if it happened to miss. So he's looking pretty good here.
Got to be careful not to foul here. That was slightly hampered cueing, but no dangers. This long black to stake England to a 1-0 lead. This is missable. Oh, that's a great opening from Jason Twist. A very confident start. And England off the mark early. They lead Ireland 1-0. Young Mick Hill, who won his opening frame, up against Thomas Kinsella. 6-3 in front for England. Well, the first chance to Ireland.
Foul, one visit.
I'll tell you what,
Open
this is a
table.
glorious opportunity for Ireland right here. Can't legislate for going in off from that, but it happened.
Bit unlucky there, Jim. He's caught two balls and gone straight into the centre pocket. You can't read them. But I will say, Jim, that Ireland are
ball's in
not
play.
out of this yet, but they must get their heads right. They cannot keep going out there thinking, well, I can't miss anymore. They've basically got to pot the balls and support their teammates, which is why it's all about team spirit. No point sitting there shaking your head. You've got to think positive.
And the pressure should be off by now. They're well into this one. It's nearing the halfway point, and it's 6-3 behind. They've got to start letting that back arm go. No more pulling your cue.
Good shot by Thomas there. He's fractionally overscrewed it, but he's got plenty of options there, Jim.
Seconds.
Well, that was the more awkward of the Reds remaining. This is quite simple really now from here.
Yep, he only has to pot this red into the corner. See the nice angle there that he's left himself.
But have we said that before with the Irish side?
Well, we got to think positive too, Jim. This can finish up tricky. He's got to be careful. He doesn't want to finish on the rail. He doesn't want to overscrew it. That's a nice shot.
Well, Thomas Kinsella looks like keeping Ireland in this one.
Come on, man.
Down it goes, and he's saying, come on, lads. 6-4 to England. Still all to play for. Yes, Thomas Kinsella and Lee Kendall. And I don't think they're on the verge of a victory. I think there's another story to be told in this one. I think we've still got a lot of pool left.
Come on, Thomas.
Just a hunch.
Red and yellow ball spotted.
How would you like that break every day of the week, Jim? 3 balls potted, not one on a rail.
And this follows the storyline. No problems for Thomas Kinsella.
The only problem being that England only want 1 frame. That's going to put a lot of pressure on him.
Well, there is, but sometimes that last one can be so difficult to win and elusive. And Thomas Kinsella has looked solid. Lee Kendall has looked like a player fighting with his confidence and his form. Well, I think this is going to be a pretty simple finish for Kinsella. I don't think he's going to waste any time whatsoever in completing victory here.
I think he'll pot the red in the middle there that's lined up straight. Maybe screw into the yellow and then take the red in the top right-hand corner as his next ball so that he can travel down to the bottom of the table here with a nice angle without forcing anything, so it can't jump out of any pockets or anything. Well, I would have put the red into the left-hand centre pocket rather than that right hand.
Well, that was almost disastrous, too, for Thomas. Just about slithered in behind that yellow. What a turn-up that would have been.
Wow, I actually thought he got behind there, Jim. I didn't think it would still pot it. So he's just a little bit lucky there.
Well, I could tell by his reaction, Alec. And I mean, the
seconds.
whole Irish side would have let you know if he couldn't see that one.
That's a beautiful shot there between the 2 yellows. Nice angle just to run down.
Thomas Kinsella has been solid. What a great visit. You can see him. He hasn't potted the black yet. And already the fist clenched.
Come on, Ireland.
It's there. Come on, Ireland, he says. 10-9 and counting. Carl Morris from England, the reigning Embassy World Pool champion, breaking off in frame 20. And it's a long ways from over.
Foul, 1 visit, open table.
Another look at it. Very unlucky. But again, that cue ball flying all over the place, just begging to go in a corner pocket.
Just seeing there, Jimmy, it looked like it caught the left half, or the right half of the front ball, which then made him lose control of the white. So he really got what he deserved on that break. He didn't hit the front ball head on. Of course, when you hit him with so much power, who knows where it can go.
30 seconds.
But gee, wouldn't you like to be on the yellows right now, Jim?
Yellow ball's in play.
And with Ireland having the break in the last frame, who knows, he might even be able to run out, and what a great comeback it would have been.
They trailed 5-2 at one stage. 10-8 here. They need the last three. They certainly look like going to a decider and forcing it into one frame.
He's worked this out well, Jim. I didn't consider that, but put this yellow in the centre pocket, and it's looking pretty good.
Well, I think that really, if Ireland ever did go through to complete the shock victory here, I think that's been the difference, the breaks. Ireland has been breaking very well, and England has really been laboring every time they've gone to the table breaking off. There have been precious few breaks and finishes.
If I remember correctly, it only really started after the first round, and they found themselves 5-2 down. Things were rolling England's way, but then when they won the next round 5-2, breaks seemed to be coming their way.
I don't think he's on the intended yellow. I think he would like to have been on the one bottom left.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Jim. He's just made it a fraction harder now, bridging over the black. He has to try and stun the white back off the bottom rail and try and bring it up so he can pot the yellow. Perfect. That's a great shot. We'll cut this in and black in the bottom right-hand corner, I think, Jim.
Well, there's a man with a lot on his mind, because if it goes to a decider, he's carrying the English flag. Keith Brewer will be the last man to play for England.
I heard them stop for a second, but it's not too bad.
Good for a left-hander. He can lean over the table. This is very similar to the shot that we see, or that we saw Carl Morris fail on. But there's the difference. Ireland has forced a one-frame decider. 10-10. Here we go. John McMahon versus Keith Brewer. Coming down. The only thing you can rest assured of here is that there will be a lot of thought and care put into each and every visit. He's got that good.
No, he's left him right on the yellow with a gap.
Yellow ball's in play.
And I tell you, that's all the Ireland wanted. They just wanted a shot at it. As far as I'm concerned, this is an opportunity for Ireland right now.
So here you go. The chance that Ireland wanted.
Well, he had to force it, and Wally White was on the rail. He played this with a lot of top, and as you can see the white arcing there when the top spin actually grabs, and lucky not to snoop himself here.
Come on.
It was a tough shot.
And look at Carl Morris. He can barely stand to watch. That white looks to have finished right near the cushion.
Well, he can't screw back off the white off the rail.
Great shot, but he still left himself so much to do.
Well, he's going to have to hope for a lucky kiss off the yellow here, Jim. Because all I can see is the white maybe just nicking the yellow. He's going to try and stun the red ball into the centre pocket.
30 seconds.
Travel with the white up to the top rail and come back down. A very tough shot. He may even try to decide to screw straight. No, he's playing with top, so good luck.
Come on!
That was tough. That was very, very difficult.
I think he had half safety in mind there, Jim. He made sure about what he was doing there and realised that if he missed it, he may have covered the yellow.
Well, he kept potting himself into an opportunity, but in the end, it was just too much. Just asking too much. Now, you know what John McMahon can do here is if he can knock in this long yellow, screw back to leave the yellow to the center pocket, he may be able to play it off the red. Well, he's playing the other yellow. He knows he's not going to leave anything.
Yeah, good shot. Good choice of shots there, Jim. So very easy for a player to get a rush of blood there and say, well, if I pot this yellow, I can win the match. But if I miss it, I might lose it. Where he's just gone and chosen a bit of safety, keep the pressure right on Keith. So it's a good shot. That's a very good shot, that, because if you see, if he was to play the yellow in the top right-hand corner, then Keith could play the red off the other red into the centre pocket. So it's a tough shot here for John. He's got to make a decision whether he's going to go or not, because Keith can go with like 2 or 3 opportunities here.
30 seconds.
Shot, John.
Okay, so we can see that Keith can pot the lower yet red ball, but I don't know how he can get to the inside red, Jim.
And if that cue ball would have traveled a little further to the center of the table, I think what you said might have been available. Red off the other red into the center pocket. But I'm working very hard to keep myself calm here, Alec.
30 seconds.
England and Ireland met in 1995, and the result there went to England at 10-10. I think this is one they're going to talk about for a long, long time, regardless of who eventually wins. But what a showing by this game Irish side.
They looked like they were gone early in the match. They looked like they were gone when they were 10-8 down, and really, they just really stuck on there.
Well, I just had a feeling, Alec. I know that in our studio, our co-host Alan Bartlett thought that England was home and dry. I just had a feeling that there was a lot more to be written in this script. He tried to cover that yellow, but he didn't quite get the red out far enough. But right now, there's so many options to the way of Ireland just because the yellow is guarding the red. So he really can bide his time here.
You know what I think would have been a better shot there, Jim? Is to maybe pot that yellow in the top left-hand corner and put the yellow in the right-hand corner over the pocket, which will then force Keith to play the red on the inside and maybe give John an opportunity to put the yellow onto the yellow. Because at the moment it's a very tough shot to play the plant. See there, John's got the opportunity to play the cannon onto the yellow in the top right, but it's a very tough shot.
Well, what about if he plays the yellow top left in to take the cue ball near the yellow over the pocket and lays an evil snooker on him?
Well, then I think you'd see just Keith just sitting on that yellow, making him waste one shot. So it's not a lot there. There's nothing in this frame right now.
30 seconds.
Well, is he going to do what I said or what you said, Jim? He may even have a go. He may even decide to try and screw up the rail and have a shot into the bottom left-hand corner.
Well, either way, he's taking the initiative. Got his thinking cap on, and it fits.
Well, I think all Keith can do here is maybe try and get the black safe on the bottom rail
30
and
seconds.
leave the white safe on the left-hand side of the table to make the cut down onto the other yellow as hard as possible. Well, I don't like that shot at all.
I think he's in big trouble. I think you're going to see the yellow onto the yellow here. Certainly an opportunity.
You can play this with a little bit of top and also put the red safe as well to maybe take a bit of pressure off.
Here we go.
Come on, come on!
Well, he got lucky.
Can you believe how much he missed that by, Jim?
Completely butchered that shot.
He didn't even have a good long look at it. He got down and lined it up, and there you go. He's missed it by a long way.
Best of order, please.
I think Keith is going to try and cover the outside of the yellow here, Jim, to stop
30 seconds.
John from hitting it and potting it.
That might be the best shot we've seen today, given the circumstances. The shot that Keith Brewer just showed us there. And remember, it's not won anything. All it's done is bought him a little time.
Total snooker.
Off the side cushion, pots the yellow over the corner pocket. The other one's over the middle. I've got a feeling he's looking at the middle yellow first. Will he be cheering or shaking hands?
Yes, Keith!
What an epic battle.
2 visits.
I have to say, Alec, I'm surprised he went for that yellow.
Well, he's probably thinking if he goes for the top yellow, he might not get out for the other yellow. But
But even to try and contact it and leave the cue ball up there.
Yeah, I agree, Jim. He's taken the hardest yellow.
30 seconds.
Even with the 2 visits. Still so much to be done.
a waste of third visit there. That's a good shot there, Jim. Takes the pressure right off.
One pot away. What a final we have been witness to here. It doesn't get any closer, and look at the English side. This is one they won't forget in a hurry. A very game and valiant attempt by Ireland falls just short at the last hurdle. But what a final we have been treated to.
Tonight is Ladies' Night. It's the ladies' final, and certainly over the last few years, it's been totally dominated by just two ladies. And here they are, Linda Moffat, who became Linda Leadbitter when she got married, dominating 4 times, 93, 94, 95, and then last year in 98. The only other lady, Sue Thompson, 96 and 97. So these two ladies have completely dominated the ladies' game in terms of pool, but not this year. Already a big shock, Lisa Quick defeating Sue Thompson in the semi-finals. And there you see the last ball going down, and a dejected Sue Thompson, but a delighted Lisa Quick. Brilliant stuff by Lisa Quick. Let's find out about this lady. She's also a snooker player as well as a pool table player. Estelle Matthews spoke to her.
Yes, Jonathan, an amazing feat by Lisa Quick and a first-timer to the World Championships. And I think you're still recovering from the shock, aren't you, Lisa?
Yes, it was a big shock for me. I wasn't really expected to do this well in the tournament, and well, I managed to get through somehow.
How did you go about beating Sue Thompson? And it must have been a very difficult psychological thing to do.
Yeah, it was. I mean, everyone knows how good a player Sue is, and basically I just wanted to concentrate on my own game and the table and try and out-pot her if I could.
And she's known for playing mind games.
Yeah, I know I had to be psychologically strong, and I felt quite good about it, and I think I went about it the right way.
Okay, you've done that. Now you're going into the final to meet 4 times world champion Linda Leadbitter. How are you going to face that one?
Again, she's such a strong player all round. Obviously, she's not going to be really going for the pots so much, I don't think. I think she's going to try and tie me down. But I just want to stick to the same game plan and do my best.
There's a lot of bets from the boys out there on you. Do you think they're going to be right?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I've gone into every match the same. I could have gone out a couple of times earlier in the tournament, and anything else is a bonus, really.
Well done. Well, I think Lisa's quietly confident. That's her view. Let's find out what Linda has to say. I spoke to her earlier.
I'm feeling fairly confident. I've played Lisa twice before and I've beat her twice, and I'm feeling quite confident. I'm playing quite well, so just hope I play well on the day.
Now with me to enjoy it is Vicky Layton, a semi-finalist here last year. And first of all, let's go back to Lisa Quick. A big surprise for the ladies' game for her beating Sue Thompson.
Yeah, it was a fantastic match for those who did watch it. It was not really a surprise. I mean, Lisa Quick is a fantastic player, and she did actually outpot Sue. There's a few mistakes crept into Sue's game, which Lisa capitalised on and played really well. Took out her finishes when she needed to. And there won't be no surprise if she does do well out there today.
What about Linda? They mentioned it in the interview there, not having Sue around. They've met so many times before. How's she going to approach this? Is it going to be harder playing an unknown in terms of Lisa?
No, I think she'll actually play better knowing that she hasn't got to play Sue. She has played Lisa a couple of times and has beaten her. But I think she'll be relaxed out there. I mean, it's Lisa's first time out there and her first time in the tournament. So who knows? It's a hard one to call.
All right, thanks, Vicky. Let's take a look at these two ladies a little bit closer in terms of their achievements getting to this point. From Kettering, age 26 and ranked world number 1, and her career highlights 4 times world champion and a finalist in 97 as well. The pedigree is all there for Linda Leadbitter. What about her opponent, Lisa Quick? She's from Weston-super-Mare. She tells me that John Cleese is from there too. Those are the 2 famous people from Weston-super-Mare. Age 24, she's unranked in the world rankings, but 3rd in the European Championships this year, as well as part of the winning team in the team's competition this year. Let's take a look at the way both these ladies made it to the final. And Linda's record pretty brilliant there. Quarter-finalists a little bit closer, 7-5, but she hardly dropped any frames on the way through. And what about Lisa? Well, we've already mentioned that she'd beaten Sue Thompson in the semi-finals, but her other games, her only the first one perhaps, a little bit close, but pretty confidently all the way through. So it's ladies' night, the ladies' final. We have a very known figure in Linda Leadbitter, but what about Lisa Quick? How quick can she be around this table?
Yes, this is the ladies' final, the one we've all been waiting for. The defending champion, Linda Leadbitter. She is making her 6th Embassy World title appearance here in the finals, up against an unfamiliar foe, Lisa Quick.
Open table.
Well, it's an open table. It was very interesting to note the comments before we look at the play here. Obviously, Lisa very well aware of Linda's tactical acumen, and she's going to want to try to avoid that at all costs. Turn it into a potting game, as Sue Thompson, the beaten semi-finalist at the hands of Lisa, would try to do. But it's not always easy to try and impose your game, and Linda's got all the weapons. She can pot too. Well, in this, our 6th final here for Linda. In fact, our 7th Embassy World title final. I'm very happy to be joined in the commentary box by a very familiar face. When the women are on the table, chances are you look beside me and you're going to see Keith Brewer. Keith, we see Linda out there, but not a lot known about Lisa Quick. She's obviously a very good snooker player. That's got to put her in good stead on this 4x8 surface out here.
Yes, Lisa's been in the England team now for a year or two and has progressed very well. She's a very good potter of a ball, obviously being a snooker player, and that showed in a semi-final when she played Sue. I mean, I actually saw most of the match, and she played excellent, and it wasn't like that Sue slipped up or anything. Lisa did completely outplay her in that match. And in previous finals, Linda has always liked to play an openish game, and I've been known to criticise her once or twice when she did lose to Sue, if she'd have just tightened her game up, you know, and she would have won. It'll be interesting to see how she takes this game, because we don't know how Lisa is going to handle the arena and the big table and all that. It's, I think Linda just concentrates on her own game, doesn't let anything else distract her, she'll be okay.
Well, you can only ever worry about your game. When you're at the table, your opponent's helpless. But still, never easy.
Seconds.
Well, the only problem at the moment is whether the yellow passes into the centre pocket. And it has to be said that Linda has started off very positively in the first frame.
Well, it's difficult to tell just yet whether that yellow passes, Keith, but if it does, this is a great chance for Linda. It's very close. She's just having a look at it now.
Seconds.
Well, has she overdrawn this? Got into that one a little too much. Obviously, the way she played it, that yellow would pass to the center. But this was overscrewed by about 2 feet, Keith.
Yeah, she's actually pinched a little bit on the pocket because she needed to get really precise position on the yellow, because it only just may go into the pocket, and she's really caught hold of it. And there you can see it just passes in.
30 seconds.
The only problem, when you can only see half a pocket or 3/4 of a pocket, you need the cue ball in exact position. Not even going to attempt getting out of this, Jim, playing a tactical foul.
Yes, she's going to force Lisa to do it on her own merit. She's going to have to waste a shot, it looks. Well, maybe, maybe not. She's having a good look at this long red. Lisa Quick, as was mentioned, number 5 in the world in snooker. Well, she didn't have to waste one. Our first look at Lisa. Disposed of Sue Thompson. 7 frames to 3 in the semifinal. Much easier passage through to this final than many would have thought.
Second visit.
Well, when Lisa did play Sue in that semi-final, she was very, very positive in the way she played. Attacked, didn't defend, attacked at every opportunity. Now, whether she's going to do that in this match remains to be seen. But if she does play in the same vein that she played against Sue, then we should be in for a very exciting final, Jim.
Well, it's very apparent there. She doesn't want to get into a tactical battle because she could have laid a snooker on that last yellow. Intending instead to pot her way out. Still on a red to the middle. She does cue the ball very well. Signs that she has spent a lot of time over the snooker table and honed her fundamentals. Very important for her, too, to get off to a good start. It's a best of 15, a race to 8.
Same applies to Lisa here. Needs to get very good position on the red. It does definitely pass into the middle. But with the yellow just sticking out slightly, she needs to get good position to make this shot easier for herself. And that looks just about right.
Well, she feathers the white very nicely here, and she doesn't waste any time either. Down goes the 8, and Lisa Quick has started ideally here in the ladies' final. She leads the defending champion, Linda Leadbitter, by 1 frame to 0. Frame number 4, red and yellow down. This is a big start for Linda.
Red and yellow balls bottom.
Have a look at the
balls in
reds.
play.
Again, a chance in lightning fashion here to get right back on level terms.
Well, Reds have come out fantastic on this break. 1 of each down, so as soon as she nominates, she's on that colour. Probably her hardest red is the one she's on now. She's screwed back up the table to eliminate this one. And then what it is, it's just a bit easier to move the cue ball around. You've got all these 4 reds nicely positioned in the bottom right-hand side of the table. So there's not too much work to do with the cue ball, so therefore less chance for making a mistake.
Softly feathers this one down the cushion. She's landed on the red to the same pocket. Very determined. It's one thing getting to the top of this game. It's another staying there. She's done both. This 8 to be right back in it. It's there, and Linda Leadbitter is right back in the thick of the hunt here. All square now with Lisa Quick, 2 frames apiece. 3-2 in front and breaking. Her last break was successful. Not so this one.
Open table.
That was a good point, though. She has done very little that we've seen from her in the past. One visit, really, the breaking out on one occasion. But other than that, there have been a lot of chinks in Linda Leadbitter's armor, and she finds herself 3-2 in front.
$30.
Well, it's a good break off, not a ball down this time. Important to get on the best suit now.
Red ball's in play.
Doesn't seem to be striding around the confidence that she had earlier. But then she did get off to a wonder start. 2-0 up, quick, fast time. That's the way she played her semi-final. Very exciting lady to watch play, Paul, this one. Going to eliminate probably her most difficult red at the moment. This one up in the bulk area of the table. Comes down, we'll have just 4 reds remaining.
She looks like a very sure potter once she gets her eye in, gets a rhythm around the table. She really does cue effortlessly. A long action, and that usually translates into a lot of cue power when it's required as well.
Look at that shot there. Perfect cueing and in perfect position. Okay, she's got a little bit of work to do here. No problem in potting the next red, but the last red, as you can see, is hampered by the yellow, so she needs to get precise position. But then the problem is, where's the black going to go? Well, it will go into either middle pocket. She's got a little angle on this, so she'll probably go bottom left, and she can't see all of the pocket, as you can see, because there's a yellow there. So she needs to get good position on the black here.
Well, that's just the sort of reply that Lisa Quick was looking for. A terrific finish right off the bat, and she's back level pegging with Linda Leadbitter, 3 frames apiece. There's that look of resignation on Linda's face. 7-3 behind. 5 remaining. Linda wants them all. Here's her first chance.
Open table.
Well, we've seen some great performances from Linda over the years, Jim, and I'm sure all our viewers would remember some of the matches and some of the great comebacks that she's mustered, but can she do it? I mean, 5 frames on the bounce here is going to take some doing against a player who's firing on all cylinders now.
Yellow ball's in play.
She just hasn't been her normal self today. And as you alluded to before, Jim, whether the fact that she's now playing a bit of snooker has took that edge away from her game. I mean, she's played very well all week in reaching the final,
Red ball's to
but she
play.
just hasn't performed out here today.
Well, the last frame can prove very evasive in any major final.
I think shots like that, for instance, there, I mean, Linda's such a great tactical player, and always when she wants to cover a pocket, then she would more or less do that, and you can see she's overcut and got nowhere near it. And it's just lots of little shots. It's not always the big shots that she's been weak on. It's all the little shots that she always gets right 99% of the time, and they're the ones that have been letting her down today.
Well, the red on the right-hand cushion at the bottom of the table as we look is an obvious problem for Lisa, but right now Linda has a problem in a couple areas. Yellows on the right-hand side, the two nearest the middle of the cushions. Well, there's no reason to hang your head just yet. You're 7-3 in front and in the driver's seat.
Well, at the moment we've got a bit of a tactical exchange going on, and basically what's happening is Linda's defending. She's trying to put the yellows over the pockets so that the reds are out of commission, and as she's doing that, of course, Lisa's bringing them back into play, and that's what's going to be happening for the next few shots. Didn't want the pot, Jim.
You saw her shake her head there, Keith. Confirmed it. A difficult plant. Well, she's got a chance if she can knock this red into the center. As we see the plant again, that wasn't easy. Well, that was a plant that was a double that she wanted for sure. Had that gone in, she might have had a chance to win. But now her reds are all in the open.
Well, if Linda's going to clear up, that was the ball to move first, and the reason for that is because she can play the other yellow down the rail onto the yellow that's now sitting over the bottom right-hand pocket. So I would say after watching that shot, she's definitely off for the finish here. Well, that's pretty good. She's worked the cue ball pretty well there. A lot of pressure on her here. Back truly against the wall in this match. Although you wouldn't think it looking at her. She looks as calm as ever. And the bonus in that shot, of course, is she opened that pocket up now completely, if required for the black. So that was a nice little kiss.
30 seconds.
Well, I'm a bit surprised she took it on then. She could have potted the other ball first and come back to that plant. But I'll tell you what, Jim, it took some missing, really.
No kidding. I still can't believe it stayed out.
Well, this is an opportunity, I suppose, for Lisa, but it is not an easy one.
Looks like the only shot she's got, Keith, is to slap that one in the middle pocket and go around the angles. Well, this is a chance now. Drop the red in the corner, finish on the red to the center with a little bit of angle, as she's looking at right here, to be able to get the cue ball back for the last red on the bottom cushion.
Well, I suppose if we were going to be honest and speak from a neutral's point of view, it's always nice to see someone new in the final and even someone new going on to win the tournament, as there's only ever been 2 winners in 6 years.
She's obviously got the angle, Keith.
30 seconds.
Well, that's a little straighter than she would have liked. Shaking her head far too straight. She's not going to be able to get that cue ball too far away from that end cushion for comfort. But she will have a shot at the 8 in potting the red. Here it is. A chance. Her first chance to become the 1999 Embassy World Champion. It's not in. So much pressure. And she can smile. I said it was her first chance. At 7-3 in front, you've got to feel she's going to get another one. At least another one.
To be fair, Jim, it was an awfully difficult shot. The white was tight on the cushion. It was a cut into the middle. And it isn't the first time we've seen them missed.
Time out, please.
Extremely difficult with the pool table because the cue ball is slightly smaller than the object ball. And when it's tight up against the cushion,
I'm running.
very, very hard to strike. Well, this is a big shot coming up right now. And it's not good. It's not good at all.
It would have been a lot worse if the cue ball would have traveled a bit further. It's not good, but she's still at the table.
You know, Jim, she should have took this ball first. When she missed the black, she was clearly on this ball and should have took this first.
Well, that might be the last shot that Linda Leadbitter plays in this year's championship. A simpler 8 now for Lisa Quick. Chance number 2. And she can get her bridge hand very comfortably on the table this time. It's there! Lisa Quick has defeated the defending champion. Now she's the champ. Lisa Quick from Weston-super-Mare is the 1999 Ladies Embassy World Pool Champion. Congratulations all around. A new champion is crowned. And what a terrific player she is.
First of all, to the runner-up is a cheque for £1,500, and our congratulations go to Linda Leadbitter. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to the winner. It's a cheque for £2,500, the tournament trophy and the title of the 1999 Embassy Ladies 8-Ball World Pool Champion, and that goes to Lisa Quick. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hello and a warm welcome once again to the Stackers Hotel in Blackpool for the Embassy World 8-Ball Pool Championships for 1999. It's been a fantastic event so far. We've had the women's final, we've had the team's final, but this is the big one, the men's final, and it really is going to be very interesting. Terry Hunt from England against Australia's Quinten Hann. And everybody is very excited to see Quinten Hann playing. He's played snooker, of course, 26 in the world in that, but can he become the World 8-Ball Pool Champion? Who can know? Anyway, we'll find out very soon. Starting with Quinten Hann, as we've just mentioned, he's from Australia, from Melbourne, just 22 years of age, and he only just turned 22. He's ranked 21 in the world in pool, but that'll soon change if he wins this one. His achievements so far have been in snooker, Grand Prix snooker quarter-finalist in 98 and 97, a Thailand Open snooker quarter-finalist, and he was the world under-21 snooker champion back in 1994. His opponent, Terry Hunt, a lot more experience in this particular game, the man from Sheffield, just down the road really. He's ranked 7th in the world at the moment, and he was the UK Tour winner in 97, and in 95 and 96 went to the semi-finalists. But this time he's finally cracked it and gone all the way to the final. Well, let's take a look at how both these men got to the final. Starting with Quinten Hann, he beat Daz Ward 8-4, Jason Twist, a good victory there, 8-6. Darren Appleton couldn't be closer, 9-8, and a lot of people thought that Darren Appleton would go on to win this, but he didn't. He only got through to the quarterfinals. In the semi-finals, a little bit easier for Quinten. He beat Yannick Beaufils of France 10-4.
No, you haven't picked the right numbers in the lottery. You're just lucky enough to have the best seat in the house for the best act in town. The flamboyant Australian Quinten Hann against the surprise package of this year's 1999 Embassy World Pool Championship. The man breaking off at the moment, young Yannick Beaufils from France. And what a semi-final lineup this is. Down goes the yellow. Happy to be joined in the comm box, and as I have throughout this championship. Certainly when one of the French contingent is out there by Eric Lacaze, and beside him, former England team manager Alan Bartlett. And gentlemen, welcome. We've got it all right in front of us right here.
Welcome, Jim. I think I'll let Eric have the honour of this first visit, as it were. The red balls look all there. What do you think, Eric?
30 seconds. I think that Yannick will go for the reds for the first game. And I'm not surprised he's going for an attacking game.
Red balls in play.
How important is it, Eric, for Yannick to get a good start? He's shown us incredible temperament. His quarterfinal win over Lee Kendall from 5-3 in front, pegged back to 5 each. That's when he produced his best stuff.
Yes, he played really well in semi-final, but now it's another game, it's another opponent. And Yannick is still confident in his in himself, and he's going to play his game with no complex at all. You have nothing to prove now. He reached a really, really nice point of this tournament, the semis, and he can go further if he play well.
Well, we all know that pressure can manifest itself from inside, and if he alleviates that, who's to say, Alan?
Yes, I hear what Eric's got to say. He's got nothing to lose. He's second favourite for this match, that's for sure. But I just wonder what will happen if he does get in front and the winning line comes close and the world final beckons. And that's what we'll really see if Yannick Beaufils is up to it.
I think he did a very good break, and he's got a pretty table. And if he go on with it, he can surely lead 1-0. Just have to take his time and try to do shot after shot and clear it.
Yes, well, he's now got the red ball into the top right-hand corner, and so long as he makes this, you'd expect it to be 1-0. Little bit short, really, with the white. He should have been leaving it so he could put the red into the centre pocket.
Big pot this one at such an early stage. Can those nerves possibly have settled? Answered with a punctuation mark. Another look at it. That'll do his confidence the world of good.
I'm not surprised by his start because when he plays, usually he's always directly in the game, very quickly, you know.
If you watch the style there of Yannick Beaufils, you'll see that a lot of the English team, Quinten, Hann, they're stunning, screwing the white ball about. This young Frenchman likes to roll the balls in. So long as you hit the middle of those pockets, it doesn't matter which style you use.
The 8 to open accounts here in the semi-final. Down it goes, and Yannick Beaufils has taken the first frame. He leads Quinten Hann from Australia by 1-0.
Fourth frame, Quinten Hann to break. Trading 3 frames to 0.
The pressures are going to start to turn on the Australian. And once again, doesn't want a ball from the break.
Open time.
Frame 4, and Hann still not solved the mystery of getting a ball off the break.
And the yellow balls look very well positioned. You can slot this one between the two reds. Does it look like it pass?
$30 seconds.
The reds are in nice position as well.
Yes, but there's one loose red at the top of the table. And it's always awkward to get up onto that ball. There's also one red on the left-hand side of the table. It looks like Yannick's just going to cover up.
Well, that's the second time. Same pocket. The pot was not intended.
Yes, I agree with that. He didn't play to pot that, but as he played it in such a way that you can still see the red at the top of the table.
$30 seconds.
Well, there you can clearly see he can get through to that red. Not bothered. Why should he be when he can pull up pots like that? Great shot this. Had to pull that white away from the corner pocket so the in-off wasn't on.
Well, he's now going to have to play this red ball at the top of the table. And he needs to get the white ball back in the centre of the table, in this area that Jim's going to show you in a second.
30 seconds.
He's got to get the white ball there so he can drop on the red ball to the left-hand bottom corner. That's a beautiful shot. That is a fantastic shot.
Again, played with a lot of side, slow bottom to kill the pace of the white, and stay on that line to leave the red bottom left.
And one of the toughest shots on these tables is to play a ball with that much drag. You're so far away, it's so easy to miscontrol the white ball.
And I believe that now actually the position he's got can make him having another position for the red down on the left cushion.
Out of position.
And now he must find a way to make it difficult for Quinten Hann. He's 3-0 down. He doesn't want to just leave him with 7 balls in the centre of the table. A white ball in the centre of the table. Perhaps he should be trickling this white ball down towards the bottom left-hand corner. Leave it down near this pocket.
30 seconds.
That's where we think the white ball should end, and sure enough it does.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, let's go.
Yellow ball's in play.
You can see the encouraging shouts for Quinten Hann from a strong Australian contingent that's made the long trek here to the UK. Ladies individuals, men's teams. There's a lot of support, even though he's a long way from home.
30 seconds.
He's looking where to leave the white ball, Quinten. Lots of choices. Perhaps the top end of the table would be better. He's got a yellow up there. He may have left the red through the gap. He may have left the double. A lot better to have played the yellow at the top. Certainly can.
Well, if he knocks this double in, guaranteed to land on the other red.
I was agree with Alan when he said to put the white down.
Come on.
The table, up the table. Because even if Yannick would have seen red, the shot will have been very difficult. And either you have to find a position to carry on.
Well, as it happens, Yannick's played probably the worst shot he's played up to now in the match. He's missed the red ball by a long way. He needed to get it near that pocket. It would have been a good block ball. And this is what Quinten needed.
Come on, man, come on.
This is where we expect him to excel. Clearing the balls up. Once again, a poor shot, mind you. This isn't going to be easy.
Yes, you don't want to have to go to the well once too often. At 3-0 down, he's far from flying. Made that one look easy.
Well, he's definitely gone the scenic route on this finish.
Come on.
Supposedly the yellow ball. He's having a look. It definitely passes into the bottom right. Don't think it passes into the bottom left. Well, he has got the angle.
Yeah, it's a great shot. He knew he had to play it with force to get that cue ball the opposite side of the table. And this is tonic for an ailing Quinten Hann. He's taken his first frame of the semifinal. He still trails Yannick Beaufils by 3 frames to 1 in the race to 10. Yannick Beaufils in frame number 5. Yellow into the center. There really is no answer for it. What makes a break-off work and what doesn't. But right now, Yannick has it working.
Red ball's nominated.
And 3-1 in front. If he can keep the Australian in his chair.
Red ball's in play.
when he took out Lee Kendall, the world-ranked #1 player in the quarterfinals.
Timeout.
His order was tall, facing Quinten Hann, player who many felt was going to make his mark on the world of pool here this week.
Time running.
Not many people gave Yannick a chance. They felt that lightning had already struck, but could it strike twice? They just forgot to tell Yannick.
And so good was the break from Yannick. He had the choice of either colour. And if you ask how many shots in front these pool players are thinking, I suggest Yannick's thinking about 6 shots in front from this break. He's already decided which shot he's going to play before the black. It's the red ball on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side cushion just before the middle. He's going to clear up the other 4 balls, the one at the bottom end, up the top for them 3, then put the red down the side cushion and the black in the middle.
This thing is going for exactly what you said. Clear the 3 reds now in the middle of the table and finish by the red on the white cushion. And afterwards an easy black.
And the 20-year-old from France certainly brought a lot of support too as he goes through his motions here. Quite a few made it across the channel. France getting stronger and stronger every year. This is the best that any Frenchman has ever done in the singles events, and he might be a pioneer of things to come.
Now the shot which Yannick was looking at straight from the break after the first shot, to just roll this red ball in and put the black in the centre.
And that is another breaking clearance. That's a second for him.
A break and finish, second time for Yannick Beaufils. Beaufils breaking now. And there must be a world of thoughts going through his mind, and none of them positive.
Open time.
Quinten Hann, as Tony Holgate was saying, is a snooker professional, ranked 26th in the world, but he was telling me when I got here earlier this week that this is his best game. Ominous words for the rest of the competitors in this event, or any future one for that matter.
He's obviously a brilliant cueman. To say he spent a lot of the time playing snooker over the last few years, if he starts to play a lot of this game, he's going to get even better and even better. We see a few tactical errors, but there's no doubt in his potting.
Well, in talking to him in the hotel lobby, he also enjoys it because he doesn't feel like he has to totally dedicate himself to playing the game and practicing as most snooker professionals do. Sounds like he's not the most dedicated of pros. But his mother owns a billiard club back in Melbourne. That's where he plays out of. And there are more of these tables than there are snooker tables. This is a very big game in Australia.
And it's going to be no smaller if he wins this world title.
fed in, but almost came back onto the surface of the table, a la Lee Kendall.
In tonight's game, just have now to get 2 reds and to find a position to take the 5-4 lead. And I'm not believing he's going to make that because seems his arm now to be warm and ready for good clearance.
It took 9 frames. But finally, Quinten Hann, the 22-year-old Australian, has his nose in front. He leads Yannick Beaufils by 5 frames to 4.
And how Quinten Hann would like to clear up from the break and take himself into the final of the Embassy World Championships.
Yes, he would finish with an exclamation mark should he do that. Not this year. But all the colors heading the top side of the table. That's a mighty break.
Well, the yellows are all available, but if the last few frames have been anything to go by, Yannick has been finding a problem somewhere.
Well, I think you might have hit it right on the head, Alan. I think Yannick could just as soon be out of the arena, somewhere possibly enjoying a beer and relaxing, because right now he's having no fun at all.
At the end of this match, I mean, I'm certain he'll lose this match, but either way, he can go away from this competition. He wouldn't have dreamed of being in the semi-final. He's going to be a star in his own country. He's only 20 years of age. You know, he can go away and hold his head up high. He may feel gutted for half an hour for the evening, but I'm sure by tomorrow morning he'll be quite proud of what he's achieved.
Definitely. Anyway, you know, he's really proud to be the first French to reach this level of a competition. And he made it before the 21st century. And he's only 20 years of age. I'm sure that in France we've got lots of young players will come in the years, you know, who come. And we hope they will do the same or maybe much more than he did.
So you think you'll get another one, Eric, before the 22nd century?
Touching back. We hope so, and we are working for that.
I'm sure you will as well. And here's a perfect example of what we've seen from Yannick. He's lost all confidence. He's lost the white ball. He would just sooner be off the table.
Seconds.
Well, the long, slow walk back to the chair. An all too familiar sight for Yannick Beaufils in the last hour and a half. He's lost 9 of the last 10 frames, 8 in a row. And that's where he finds himself firmly up against it now. 10-4, 9-4 sore behind. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. But this would be some kind of finish if Quinten Hann could complete this one. Try and clear the yellow here, Alan?
Yes, I think he might try and do that. It's the option of doing that or try and just putting it over the pocket, and who knows with Quinten. And let's talk of his performance in this match. It's been absolutely superb. And now he's commandeering the balls. Some sort of orchestra leader there.
Sensing the kill, I feel.
I tell you, this player is really a rock. And I'm not sure that somebody will be able to beat him in this 99th World Championship. Because what he made, 9 clearances in a row without leaving any chance to the opponent, that is really a performance, totally performance.
Well, it's a great game of ours, Paul. Doesn't matter how good you are if the balls aren't kind to you, and they haven't been kind to Quinten off the breaks. It's only his brilliance that's pulled it out. Then you can lose, and Terry Hunt will be aware of that, and he'll not be lying over in the final. It's a little bit short on that, but he's potted these balls so well. These thin cuts. I can give him the commentator's curse. And once again, so sweet.
The applause is starting. And it will follow Quinten Hann right through to the final. He has defeated a very game Yannick Beaufils, 10 frames to 4, and through to the final where he will meet Terry Hunt of Sheffield for the 1999 Embassy Whirlpool crown.
His opponent, Terry Hunt, beat Kevin Wright 8-3. Keith Brewer, finalist last year, he beat him 8-6. Neil Blake 9-4. And then another very close match against the world champion, Carl Morris. Terry Hunt coming through that one, just 10-9.
Ladies and gentlemen,
yes, it's high tide here in Blackpool and high anxiety right out there on the table. This our semi-final, first semi-final in fact, of the 1999 Embassy Whirlpool Championship. And it features a man that's hoping it's going to be third time lucky. Terry Hunt making his third visit to the semi-finals. But the task isn't going to be easy. He's going to have to stop a man who's looking to make history. Carl Morris is trying to become the first player to retain this coveted title. He is the reigning Embassy World Champion as we see Terry Hunt again breaking off and showing us the sort of form that he employs successfully with the red dropping top right. So it's going to be an open table for Terry Hunt. And beside me, a very respected professional that knows both of these players very well. And I say that with slight trepidation. Mr. Tony Holgate. And Tony, Terry's got a lot to do here. Keith Brewer said that he just only slightly favored Carl Morris, if for no other reason than he doesn't put any pressure on himself. And he is the defending champion.
Yeah, that's right, Jim. Terry Hunt bidding to make the final for the very first time. Like you just said before, this is his third time now in the semis. His last visit to the semis, he played myself in 1996. He's a tremendous talent, Terry Hunt. Very smooth cueist. But Carl Morris, he's the defending world champion. So Terry's got it all to do.
Well, down to the business end here in Blackpool at the Stackus Hotel. The seas are rough, and Terry Hunt wants it to be rough going for Carl Morris.
It's been a great split from the break for Terry. I mean, just look how the Reds came out. He only had the one Orca red, which he moved straight away. And this will do him the world of good. Get in, go 1-0 up without letting Carl come to the table.
Got a perfect angle on this red. Can take that cue ball to any area on the table to be able to attack the black. How's this for an opening?
Showed a lot of confidence with that shot, Jim.
Down goes the 8 into the center of the pocket, and Terry Hunt has started things as well as he could have wished for. He leads Carl Morris 1-0 in this semifinal clash. Carl Morris to break. And for the first time, one of the players fail at the break-off.
And just look at the red balls, Jim. They're all in the open. The only real awkward ball is the black ball. There you see Carl's break-off. And he gets nothing from the break. And hands a chance to Terry Hunt to regain his 2-frame cushion.
30 seconds.
Red ball's in play.
So as Terry Hunt surveys this situation, quite obvious that at some stage he's going to have to try and develop that black, and he didn't waste much time.
Thing is, though, the black ball doesn't go in either of the bottom 2 corner pockets. Doesn't go in the centre on the right, and it doesn't go in the centre on the left. So it's top of the table only for Mr. Hunt, unless he can kick the black out. And I'll tell you what, I think he might have just opened it up in the bottom right-hand corner. He's having a look. I think it does go. Terry would have looked a lot more concerned if that didn't go.
It seems like the 2 times that Terry Hunt has looked to have lost his way, he comes back with a vengeance. And the black definitely passes that pocket. Bottom right. It almost looks like it'll go bottom left too. Certainly goes to the center pocket now. I think it's basically however he wants to go after it now, Tony.
Yeah, it's a great little shot Terry played there. I mean, he's opened up all the pockets with just the one hit. And he's odds on now to make it 5-3. Just a simple stun up into the top corner. And I think we'll see this black disappear.
Great performance from Terry Hunt there. The failed break from Carl Morris. Quick to pounce, the Predator from Sheffield. 5-3 in front now over the defending champion.
9th frame, Terry Hunt to break, leading 5 frames to 3.
Now you see Terry Hunt's not put anything over the break. He's not left anything really easy for Carl. But I think he'll be going for the yellows.
Well, the rack again doesn't look straight. Looks like it's a little offline. We saw Carl Morris ask for a re-rack. Terry Hunt didn't. He might have wished he had.
$30 seconds.
Some shot there from Carl Morris. Put his cue up in the air, didn't even put his hand on the table. That's an exhibition shot he's just played there. I play that shot in some of the pubs in the exhibitions around the country. I can't believe he's brought it to the World Championships.
Well, you wouldn't play that in snooker because that cue ball went through the object ball and that would have been a foul. Obviously not in this game. Three-ball plant. Now he's going to have to make another one bottom left. So he's showing us everything here. All stops pulled out here for Carl Morris. This has to be made, you can see.
This will be some finish if he gets these. Here you see Carl play another plant. And deposits a yellow into the corner pocket. Still not a formality finish, Jim. But it's gradually getting easier as he looks like he's shifting another yellow into the pocket.
And if the yellow nearest the cue ball doesn't pass, as we again see this developing shot for the 8-ball, he's going to have to play another plant. This will be the third plant he'll have played in this finish. Well, in fact, the yellow passed, so we didn't get the excitement of the third plant. Now, what a finish for Mr. and Mrs. Morris to be able to witness here. And finish it is. Carl Morris with a little chin out. He pulls one back, trailing Terry Hunt by just the one frame at 5-4. But the scene is set for Morris breaking off frame number 16. Just the odd frame behind. 2 reds down. And look at the reds.
Red ball's potted.
What a timely break this is.
Look at the power in the break, Jim. It's a fantastic split. You couldn't wish for more. 87 down.
Seconds.
He was level at 5 frames apiece. And this is opportunity to deadlock it again at 8. Terry Hunt seems pretty relaxed, but certainly the nerves must really be churning.
30 seconds.
And he's never been in front in this match. Most important time to be in front is at the end. You want to be the last man at the table. Has he saved his best for last?
Well, they'll just pot this red at the bottom of the table now. Ease the cue ball up into the center of the table. Red in the middle. Screws the cue ball back. 5 or 6 inches black in the same pocket this red's just gone. In fact, he might, now he's landed with an angle, he might just roll this in and play the black in the opposite corner. And that's what he's showing around the table to have a look at. Doesn't have to do anything with the cue ball then.
This pocket's familiar to him.
Come on.
But a different story this time. Down goes the 8, and 8s are wild here in Blackpool. Well, it's down to 1 frame for 2,500 pounds. The winner guaranteed 5,000. The loser will be consoled with 2,500. And Terry Hunt breaks off. And as it has done, most recently the break deserts Terry Hunt. Carl Morris in with the first go.
Come on, Carl.
Yellow ball's in play.
but positioning the white of paramount importance.
Come on, come on, come on, come on!
Can he hold himself together to pot these remaining yellows and the black?
I think his dad feels confident. I'm not too sure about his mom. Hope she lasts through this one. He's going through the motions like it's a walk in the park. But I can assure you folks, this park has a very windy sidewalk.
Come on, come on.
Could have done with another 3 or 4 inches on that one.
I think that's okay. Mother can watch, father can't. He'll know by the applause. This 8 passes. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I've seen movies with less drama.
Well, I know what Carl's feeling. And I actually missed a chance to win the world title in '96. And I'll tell you what, it took me a year to get over it. See Terry Hunt there in the background. He's already wiping his cue. He feels that Carl's not going to get out of this. Refusing to sit down, he's going to stand there and wait. And there was Jim just explaining that Carl's in a lot of trouble.
Looks like the middle knuckle. It's got to go up the cushion after it hits the middle knuckle.
Foul.
Carl Morris has time fouled on the last frame in the world semi-final. That is unbelievable. You see Carl's looking around. He didn't realise he was so close to the line. There's Marshall Mortar. He's the timekeeper.
His mother's seen enough. And Carl Morris must be absolutely gutted. Terry Hunt, with the benefit of still having a second visit in hand, has to clear up these last 3 reds. Two pots away. Down goes the red in the simplest of 8s. And Sheffield Bay's Terry Hunt has proven that there will be a new world champion for 1999. A gritty performance to punctuate a nail-biting victory for Terry Hunt. He is now through to his first Embassy World Pool Championship.
Well, certainly in the case of Quinten Hann, it's a case of Saturday night fever. The question is, can Terry Hunt stop him strutting his stuff here tonight? Well, one man who knows all about disco, of course, is your very own MC, Alan Hughes.
Thank you, Jonathan. And first we welcome a young, unpredictable and multi-talented young man who has taken the pool world by storm. And this cock-a-hoop Aussie is a terrific entertainer and a box office smash all over the world. Ladies and gentlemen, from Melbourne, will you welcome, please, the exciting young hitman, Quinten Hann. And his opponent, Mr. Nice Guy, a cool, classy, talented player, coming good at just the right time. And in typical style, he has reached his first ever world final after years of trying to achieve the dream. Ladies and gentlemen, will you welcome into the Embassy World Final, the Sheffield Blade, Terry Hunt.
This is what it's all about. The blue ribbon event here in the 1999 Embassy World Pool Championships. Pull up a chair, get yourself a cup of tea. We are in for a real treat here. Terry Hunt, the man from Sheffield, the catalog man, they call him the Blade, in his first final here in Blackpool. And he's up against a tall order in the hitman Hann, Quinten Hann, white from head to toe. And Terry Hunt has just kicked it off. It's an open table for Quinten Hann. And what a story Quinten has been here throughout this championship. He has been exuberance and flamboyance personified. And have a look at the suit. A la Kirk Stevens of the 1980s. The Ice Cream Man.
Seconds. Red ball's in play.
Red's in play for Quinten. Absolutely vital to get off to a good start. Joining me in the commentary box, the captain of the Irish side, a former runner-up in this very event, knows what it's like to be out there on the final day under the hot television lights. Tony Holgate. Certainly, Tony. Quinten, the form that he has shown us all week, it's going to take some stopping.
That's right, Jim. Quinten Hann has been superb throughout his championships. And really, I'd have to say he's been getting better as the matches have been going on. But Terry Hunt has quietly moved himself into the final. He's knocked out the defending world champion. So you can't write Terry off. Great player.
In fact, en route to this final, these two players have taken out no less than 3 world champions past and present, as well as 2 championship runner-ups. They have really gone through a minefield to get here, and the stage is set. Quinten Hann likes to take the bull by the horns when he plays this game. He doesn't want to get dragged down in any tactical battles.
Yellow balls to play.
First chance this for Terry Hunt. But Quinten was playing that shot knowing that had he miss it, it was definitely going to be his goalkeeper bottom left. Tony, what does Terry have to do here to see the finish line first?
Well, obviously he's got a couple of tough yellows down at the bottom left-hand side of the table. But he's still got to remove these 3 at the top. you see Terry Hunt put his first ball of the World Final. There's no real easy safety shot to play here. So I feel that Terry might want to ease himself in and try and pot a few of the balls, relax himself into the final.
Perfectly understandable. It's going to take a few frames for these boys to settle right in. But Terry with the opportunity here, as you see the yellow disappear, he's got the perfect angle on this now to drop on the real awkward one. That's the one nearest the bottom left corner. And should he drop on it, well, it was a big if.
Well, you'd fancy Terry Hunt to pot a ball of that sort of nature every time went to the table. Can't believe he's missed it, really. Now he's given a pretty good chance to Quinten Hann.
Right away after the awkward red, right center. But Quinten, obviously knowing that the black is not as available as he would like, might want to think out his attack pattern here. You can see all the Australian supporters for Hann. He's carrying their flag and their champion. He wants to carry it right back to Australia with the world title. Perfectly still over the cue.
That's an immaculate shot there from Quinten Hann. What position for the 8-ball.
Slots the 8 into the center of the top pocket, and the Australian Wizard has taken the first frame here in this best of 21 final. He leads Terry Hunt 1-0.
Second frame, Quinten Hann to break, leading 1 frame to 0. Foul.
We've seen that quite often, and especially into that pocket with Quinten when he breaks off.
1 visit.
Another look at it.
Open table.
Very important at this level. You've got to keep that cue ball on the table. Well, it doesn't matter whether he chooses yellows or reds. Neither one of them are a straightforward finish here. Tony, he may be forced into taking yellows just because of the situation in the top corner.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, Jim. Can't take the red balls, not with that red sat behind those 2 yellows. Be putting yourself straight in trouble. And that's unbelievable miss.
Well, he's really got to get himself sorted. Up off the cue very quickly. I think he was trying to convince himself that that yellow was in.
Well, I was talking to Terry Hunt just before the final. And I said to him, I said, how do you feel? He says, I feel pretty calm. I've got a couple of butterflies, but I'm pretty calm. And I said to him, I said, you wait till you walk out in that arena when it's full. I said, that might change your opinion on it all.
There's nothing the matter with being nervous, Tony. If you're not nervous, you're not ready. This is a big occasion, the biggest he's ever faced.
Well, I think he is nervous, Jim. I think he was trying to mask it a little bit. You know, he's had 2 semi-finals previously and not made the final.
Yellow ball's in play.
And now he's in the final. I'll tell you, when I walked out there in 96, I was welling up inside. It's some feeling to walk out in a world final.
And the stakes are very high. The title of world champion.
30 seconds.
Certain financial considerations go along with that as well. £10,000 the eventual winner will be taking home. The loser will be consoled with a check for £5,000.
Red balls to play.
Another look at it. The definition of containment right there.
Thirty seconds.
What an opening shot that is for Terry Hunt. That'll go a long ways to restoring his confidence. And that won't hurt either.
We've got a lot of work to do there, Jim, but a great shot anyway.
After 2 shots, he's given himself a chance at the second frame when it looked like he was in dire peril.
Just that little problem at the bottom of the table. You see Terry Hunt looking at those 2 reds. That's his main concern now in this frame. As you can see, the red ball does go past the yellows into the corner, but it's quite tight. And also, he's got to get the cue ball there first, Jim. Just about made it. Dead straight.
Well, obviously, the red above looks to be slightly easier. The one below might offer more positional values, but it doesn't have a full pocket. Another look at it. I have a feeling he intended just to flutter the white forward a little bit, Tony.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Jim. He meant to be on the other red ball. But what a great shot from Terry Hunt. The cue ball control there. Absolutely immaculate.
You had to play that with loads of left-hand side as he looked. And this is as good a finish as you're going to see. What a message he's sending to Quinten Hann right here. Down goes the 8 in the same pocket that it was deposited by Hann. And Terry Hunt has tied it up in this, the championship final, 1-1. The 6th frame sees Quinten Hann breaking off still from the middle of the table. And that time he imparted top, Tony, to purposely keep the cue ball topside.
Open table.
Still, his ratio for success is 0.
Yeah, he's changed his break, hasn't he?
It's stunning, really, how poorly Quinten Hann has broken off in this event. Now he still continues to win.
Yeah, he put a lot of top on the cue ball there. You saw it run through past the middle pocket. But as you said, getting nothing off the break, Jim. When you do play the cue ball with top when you break, you do lose a bit of power out of the break. For me, the best thing to do is to punch the cue ball right in the dead centre and just give him a big wallop.
black in the center of the table available bottom left. So when Terry deposits these 3 yellows, he's going to want to ensure to be able to leave the cue ball the right-hand side of the table as we look. Now the key positional shot for Terry. But so many things on the negative side of the scale have happened. There have to be doubts. And that was played beautifully. Big shot here to stem the tide. Down goes the 8, and Terry Hunt has pulled 1 back. He still trails Quinten Hann by 4 frames to 2.
10th frame, Quinten Hann to break.
Yes, everyone in the house
frames to 3.
really being treated to some top-flight, first-class pool here. Courtesy of Terry Hunt and the man at the table, Quinten Hann. It's the 1999 Embassy World Pool Championships from the Stackus Hotel in Blackpool. And there's your entertainer. He's on center stage and doing the business.
Yeah, he looks to be really enjoying himself out there, Jim, doesn't
Yellow
he?
ball's nominated.
Very cool customer. Tell you what, I think it'd be hard to upset him. I think if Terry even chucked black currant over him, I don't think that'd upset him.
30 seconds.
The man is flying.
Yellow ball's in play.
When you're such a confident potter as Quinten is, and you control the white, there's virtually no position on the table that you can't develop.
I'll tell you what, Terry Hunt is going to really have to dig deep. He's in the battle of his life against the Wizard of Oz. This looks pretty simple again now. Just that yellow ball that's sat right next to the black. He's got to deposit into a pocket. He gets rid of that one. And it's another fast frame.
Well, Tony, this is our 7th season here for the Embassy World Championships. And you and I have seen it all. And to date, I don't think we've ever witnessed anyone in such a commanding position as Quinten Hann is. In complete control and in devastating form.
Well, if you remember last year, Keith Brewer against Carl Morris, the final then. Keith Brewer went 3-0 up and got beat 11-5. That was an incredible result, so, you know, there's still hope yet. But at the moment, he's got to get to the table as Terry Hunt.
I think it's the effortless fashion that he goes through the motions, though. That's so impressive. It's staggering how he does it. Makes it look so easy. Again, another frame goes the way of Hann, and he really is dictating the pace here in Blackpool. Now 7-3 in front of Terry Hunt. To a finish. 7-3 Quinten Hann, frame 11 of a possible 21. Terry Hunt to get it all started here. We had a quick word with Terry right after that last frame, Tony, and he was saying to us that it was the early frames that he thought forged this deficit now that he sees. He could easily, as Alan and Jonathan in the studio well noted, could easily have been 5 each at the interval. 4 frames down. Much tougher to come back, but he's still got to take it 1 frame at a time and try and claw his way back into this. He's had chances. He's got to content himself with that.
30 seconds.
That's right, Jim. He's got to put the scoreline out of his head. He's got to get up to the table and think, what I need is this 1 frame now. And then do that frame after frame. If he starts thinking, Christ, I need 4 or 5 frames or whatever, he's in a lot of trouble.
Beautifully developed the 2 awkward reds. Another look at it. Couldn't have played that any better. And all of a sudden, as we've seen so often, from a seemingly impossible position, this talented Australian has developed it into one of some promise.
Another lovely shot there from Quinten Hann. And this is just what Terry Hunt doesn't need.
The red in the middle of the table, Tony, looks like it is available bottom right. Quinten just there purposely killing the pace of the white. Now he'll play this with follow. Well, he may have to screw back. You see the red departing. It's his choice how he plays this.
Well, I wouldn't be playing it this way. That is a very, very poor shot from Quinten Hann.
That red was on, Tony. Why didn't he play the red bottom right?
I haven't got a clue, Jim. This is some big pot. Doesn't matter about position when you can pot him like that, Jim.
He's making this 4x8 pool table look like it's a toy table out there. Never have we seen pool played at this level. Quinten Hann, 8-3 in front of Terry Hunt.
12th frame, Quinten Hann to break.
Already with a
Leading
firm
8 frames
grip
to 3.
on the trophy is Quinten Hann breaking off here in frame number 12. 8-3 in front, and the white into the center pocket. Is this the opportunity that Terry Hunt has been waiting for?
1 visit, open table, time running.
I'll tell you what, Quinten's been a bit fortunate there. He's gone in off the break, but neither colour's easy.
Well, the billiard gods tend to favor the ambitious.
Red ball's in play.
And what a lot of work he has to do looking at the reds here. That whole left-hand side of the table as we see it.
Yeah, he's done the right thing, is Terry. He's no finish on there, so he's covered the pocket and left Quinten Hann snookered. There you see him.
Time out.
Put the bottom red over the left-hand corner pocket. And what you'll see Terry trying to do in the next couple of shots is get the awkward reds out into the open.
Not a total snooker.
And try and get himself a finish left on.
Well, that means a cushion has to be contacted after white contacts yellow. Well, that escape negotiated. Little Massey shot there. That's a useful shot, certainly in this game. You can see what Terry Hunt's intentions are. He's trying to slow Quinten down. Taking control of the bottom of the table as we look. Quinten's had his foot on the gas pedal almost from the outset of this match, racing to an 8-3 lead.
30 seconds.
Well, this is the type of game that I feel Quinten's a bit unsure about, the tactical game.
30 seconds.
Terry Hunt is going to try and get these reds out now. Get them into the middle of the table and put the pressure on Quinten Hann during this frame. Well, I'm sure he tried to get them out there. Tried to cut his red up the top, but they're still there.
Foul.
And Quinten Hann there belts the yellow ball and pots the red in the corner, giving 2 shots to Terry Hunt. I think he thought he could get the yellow pass there, or at least cannon the red out, Jim. How about you?
Well, I don't believe he intended to give 2 shots away. That's certainly no mystery.
And out they come, Jim. He's used his first visit up, getting the reds out. And that's a lovely strike of the ball. He's used up one of his visits, but all the reds are in the open, and so is the black.
Yes, it was awkward cueing there near the cushion. Mick Hill, one of the good young English players, very highly touted. And Terry Hunt pulls one back. He stopped the 3-frame rot. It's still a one-sided scoreline, though. 8-4 to Quinten Hann. Still 4 frames behind Sheffield-based Terry Hunt, the number 7 ranked player in the world, breaks off.
Open table.
Well, it's just not happening for Terry off the break at the moment. I think Quinten Hann might be looking at the reds. If he can get that red that's in between the 2 yellows at the top of the table. This is the red
30 seconds.
just here. Well, he's going for the yellows. Oh, I'm a little surprised there,
Yellow ball's in
'cause
play.
the red we just showed you there is blocking the yellow. Maybe it's deceived us, maybe it isn't blocking the yellow, but it looks very close to me.
Just wanted to swing around that to leave the yellow bottom left. He's still got it. But I've got a feeling, Tony, he's left that one yellow nearest the head string line, or the bulk line as it's called here. That's the one he's going to use to try and develop the awkward yellow. He's got the right angle on it now. So here we go. Going to take the cue ball into that red and yellow, and he's got the bumper there. So if he does contact it dead on, he can still leave the other yellow to the same pocket. There you go. And now the frame is on. He manufactures winning positions.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jim. I think that's a spacesuit he's wearing because he's playing from another planet at the moment.
Big shot.
What more superlatives can you use to describe the way that Quinten Hann is going about his trade here? 9-4 now in front of Terry Hunt. Wanting just 2 more frames to have his name engraved on the most prestigious cup the pool world has to offer.
Red ball's nominated.
Well, it's a great split, is that, Jim? Reds or yellows? He's took the reds.
Red ball's in play.
I mean, you just can't imagine the fella missing, can you?
Well, very dissimilar to most of the players here, too. He uses a maple cue, I noticed, as we see the red that he pots. And most of the players play with ash, but probably with it being a lot drier in Australia, the maple is better suited, and that's what he was brought up with. It's a custom cue again made by John Paris. But doesn't he make it work?
Absolutely perfect. Every shot he plays is just spot on, Jim.
Just 1 frame now required for the man from Australia who is looking to be crowned the king of the Embassy World Pool. Quinten Hann 10, Terry Hunt 4. Terry Hunt to break now, frame 15. Is there any response that he can find? His back's against the wall. And that probably sums up Terry Hunt's final here.
I was just about to say that tells you the story. Terry Hunt, big splash off the break. He's gone in off in the right-hand centre pocket. And poor old Terry, the breaks have really let him down tonight.
Well, I think even the way that Quinten Hann has performed here, Terry Hunt
Yellow ball's in play.
in A1 form. Had he brought his A game here, might still have been second best to this man. It has been a systematic demolition job here. took apart the young Frenchman Yannick Beaufils in the semi-finals 10-4. And 4 frames is all that Terry Hunt has mustered here in the final.
Tried to kick the yellow out. He's just 4 balls away from being crowned world champion.
Got the nice angle on this yellow to be able to get the cue ball over for the opposite cushion.
Shot. Come on.
Well, he left it a bit short there. I think he's a little bit worried about going in off in the centre pocket. So he just held back a little bit with that shot. This is thin. And he's overcut it. Terry Hunt still in the match.
Red balls to play.
Come on. Come on.
You just wouldn't believe Terry Hunt could miss that pot. That speaks 1,000 words. It's nearly over the bag. And Terry's given up the ghost.
Shot. Come on. Come on.
This black for the World Championship.
Down it goes, an absolutely awe-inspiring performance from the 22-year-old from Down Under. He is the 1999 Embassy World Pool Champion. And have we been witness to the start of a reign that might last for years and years? This man is the best pool player in the world, and he just showed everyone here and everyone at home what it is going to take to beat him. The crowd applauds, and they're on their feet. They have just been witness, as have we, to one of the best players and performances that we've ever seen here.
First of all, let me say commiserations to you, Terry. What could you have done there?
I missed quite a few, to be honest, but Quinten, to be fair, did not miss many at all, did he?
But you were still playing out of your skin. The very first frame that you won, I mean, the guys here thought that was the best finish in the tournament, so it's not as if you weren't pulling out all the stops.
I felt good to start with. Missed a couple of easy chances, to be fair, in 1 or 2 of the games, and Quinten just took it away. He just kept, once he got 3 or 4 frames in front, it was very hard work.
Well, the great thing is you've made it to the final, and I know you'll be back again. Let's talk to this amazing Australian. Well done, Quinten. You said you'd do it, and you did a demolition job there.
I didn't make many mistakes in the final. I don't think I can play much better than that. My only weakness was I think I missed quite a few balls off the break, as I've done in the whole tournament. But after the quarterfinal with Darren Appleton, I think I was very lucky to win that.
I think you need to talk to yourself a bit more. The one time you said, I'm not going to do this anyway, you pulled out the most amazing break, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it's maybe the break's in my head a bit, that I can't hit them hard enough or something. I don't know what's wrong with it. But apart from that, I was playing great. I was making a lot of outs, and my game can't get any better than that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, now we come to the presentation party, consisting of Graham Blashill, the Managing Director, Imperial Tobacco UK Limited, accompanied by George Harwood, our Tournament Director. Thank you, gentlemen. And now, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, to the runner-up. It's a cheque for £5,000, and our congratulations for a wonderful tournament, and it goes to Terry Hunt. And now we come to the winner. It's a cheque for £10,000, the magnificent trophy and the title of the 1999 Embassy World 8-Ball Pool Champion goes to Australia's Quinten Hann. Quinten Hann, ladies and gentlemen, a great champion.
Well, Quinten Hann celebrated his 22nd birthday here in Blackpool, but the man in white has certainly come of age as a player tonight. From all of us here at Blackpool, good night.